If you want to change your life, but you also spend a lot of time on social media, then this video is for you. I just made a video about monk mode, and monk mode is not about going cold turkey. Despite what people might think, that you have to force yourself into a 90-day monk mode. I mean, I used to use monk mode more for projects, and so it kind of was like that, but I didn't force myself. And you shouldn't either. It's not about going cold turkey on things that are already part of your lifestyle. It's about being more conscientious, more intentional, more peaceful, more in touch with your spiritual side. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. You don't need to quit social media. Let me start with the very basic stuff, which is you can limit it with apps. One app I use is Zen, or I've tried, is Zen app, which is really good for limiting YouTube and any app you want, actually. It can work for a short period of time. It's just, one day you override it, then a couple of days later you override it, then it just becomes a habit, and then before you know it, you're back to your standard use of social media. But it's called Zen app. It has like 3 rocks stacked on top of each other in the app icon, and it's really, really good. I highly recommend it, and it's free. When you truly shift into monk mode, shifting identity means shifting your self-worth. So that's why I say you can't force monk mode, and you can't force it by quitting social media. When you shift your self-worth, you naturally become productive. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Maybe you have to take my word for it if you're in a hard place right now, but it happens, I promise you. And it means that you can start to be more discerning about what you consume and what apps you spend your time on and how much time you spend on them. But the truth is, once you restore your self-worth and you start to shift your identity, you won't have time for social media. You just simply won't have time for it. You won't even have enough time when you really reach new heights in your life. You just won't have enough time to be alive for all the things you want to do. And so you definitely won't have time for social media then. But you'll notice it in increasing discernment, that you less and less want to go on social media because you just won't have time. This may be hard to imagine if you're on there hours and hours a day, but I promise you, you'll start to watch things only halfway through. I mean, you might do that now for lack of attention span, but you stay on the app. But I'm talking about you get what you need and you get off the app and you go live life. You will start to use it only to serve you. You become about looking after me, myself, and I, and you use social media as a tool to improve your life or serve you, serve your happiness. So the mindless stuff will just become less and less interesting. And you might think that you need to stay on top of trends and stay in the know of what's going on in the world, because then you get the inside jokes. I know on TikTok there's heaps of inside jokes and stuff, but they will always be there. Say you quit TikTok and this whole video is about you don't have to quit, but just say you lost interest in it for a week. When you come back, it'll probably take you 30 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to get back onto what's the current in joke and be in again. So there's really nothing you're missing out on there. It's always going to be there for you if you want to. But your interest in apps and what's on there, your interest in the content, even on YouTube, is going to become a lot more wholesome. It's going to be like these videos, I'm just sitting in a park, the view is so wholesome, the fresh air and the sunshine is so wholesome when it's a sunny day. The wisdom is what you come for, you know what I mean? That's what I come to social media for. You sort of have less time for non-wisdom content, and you'll notice that it just starts to become more wholesome. So you don't have to actually quit social media in order to start experiencing it in a more wholesome way. And you don't have to quit it, because if you quit it, how are you going to use it and the content out there to serve you? There's every type of content out there, and some of it is mindless nonsense and some of it is negative, don't recommend, and some of it is actually actively harmful. Some of it's sad, horrific. It's going to make you think like, what kind of world do we live in? And I'm going to jump on Reddit and blast this person. If you're going on there for politics, then you're giving yourself a double whammy of just nonsense, because you're doing the social media chit chat plus politics. It's just two areas that are prone to nonsense. And instead of politics, you could put anything else in its place. Like, sad things are a big one, because it's just not true. Like, the news sensationalized. If you use social media for news, that's another double whammy. If you shift your identity, like I say, you will notice that you can't stand comments anymore, as in positive comments. Yes, you can, and you'll still leave positive comments, but you know how you go to a video on YouTube and you immediately look straight to the comments? Well, they become really painful. You're just like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. Like, that is just such a dumb thing to say, because some Reddit user will state the obvious and you're like, thank you, Captain Obvious. Like, you've just wasted 3 seconds of my time. Again, it comes down to time. You don't have time to waste anymore, so you lose interest. But you don't have to quit because you need it to serve you. You just need to be more discerning. And when you're in monk mode, social media, I think in particular YouTube, because there's so much to learn on here, is a fantastic way to amplify the monk mode that you're in, depending what you're working on, whether it's a project, whether you're just working on up-leveling yourself, changing your life, which is what my channel's about, being completely reinvented, having a new identity. You can tailor your experience on YouTube in such a way that your monk mode is only enhanced. It only motivates you more, it only keeps you accountable more, it only helps you focus more. So I don't recommend quitting social media for monk mode. The last point I want to make is you do have to quit something, and that is you have to quit wanting to be like everyone else. Then you're only scrolling on the platforms that are the real you. For example, you're not just scrolling on Instagram because it's there and because other women are on Instagram, or TikTok because of some of the jokes are funny. Like, you need to go deep inside, investigate who you are, and think, do I really want to be like everyone else? If you do, beautiful. Then you can find people, who are being very the average of the next person and the next person, being very like each other on social media. But you can also find on social media people who are being nothing like anyone else, which I hope I bring to this channel and bring to your YouTube page. So what is it about you that can make you different from the rest of the world? And instead of quitting social media, how can you quit wanting to be like everyone else, whether in your family or everyone else on maybe that you've followed so far? A lot of us also, we look at people and they're like 60,000 steps ahead of where we want to be. So if you're following them, you might want to think about scaling back to someone who's just like 6 months ahead of you or something like that. And also, you're just going to get down because you're not going to be like them straight away, So I think that kind of content is increasing more and more. I mean, look at my channel. I'm like a year into a transformation and I'm chatting about it, and I hope that people will follow my journey to see where it goes from here. There's a lot of scary things, there's a lot of exciting things, especially about moving abroad and things like that. So I think the content is increasing to a more pure, wholesome kind of just chatty vibe like this, where people can tell you a couple of steps ahead of you how to get there. But it's up to you. If you don't release the need to be like everyone else in the first place, you're not going to find you're serving the content that really, really serves you. That was just an additional chat I wanted to make about monk mode, because I didn't mention social media on there. I think I am at an advantage because I don't go on social media. So I have it under control, but I understand not having it under control, and you do not need to quit it at all. You just need to get to know yourself, and your feed will change on your social media, and then you definitely don't need to quit it. I have 2 more videos to film today. I might move to a more clear view of the Opera House. Don't know if you can see it. It's right there. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.